The Doctor Who Alhambra Podcast. Real Doctor Who fans with real Doctor Who opinions.
All right. Welcome to part 2 of the massive review discussion on Season 2 RTD Part 2. So obviously this is Part 2 of that episode. I am Brett, and joining me across the pond, Part 2, I don't know, I was going to come up with something clever, but I didn't. So
it's Liam. I'm still Part 1, to be honest with you. I haven't bi-generated yet, so not quite yet anyway.
Well, if I bi-generate, I'm going to be bi-regenerating into Hugh Grant to go with my fantastic English accent.
Yeah, that would be quite funny. I mean, let's face it, if you did, you'd be getting a lot more money.
Oh, yes. Oh, Liam, yes, of course. Oh, yeah.
Talk dirty to me.
Well, I guess before we get underway, you do have something that you would like to say, right?
Yeah, I just wanted to dedicate this podcast to a friend, Alex, who recently passed away. I found out yesterday, unfortunately. He was only 39, so no age at all, really. So yeah, he was a big listener of Big Finish and Doctor Who in general. So yeah, R.I.P. bud.
That is, well, that is some sad news, especially, I do appreciate, the internet community, and also because, being a science fiction nerd, it's hard to find common folk that you have things in common with because, the standard stuff is sports, obviously over there, football or whatnot. And then you have, reality shows, which, neither one of us are huge into. And so the science fiction community, especially the Big Finish and Doctor Who community, I appreciate the tightness of it. Even if we can criticize, it is still okay.
Yeah. Seems to be more mostly there seems to be more of a discourse within the Big Finish community, rather than, say, the TV show. If you've noticed,
Yeah.
kind of threads and general discourse on online, I've noticed anyway.
Well, it's interesting to think about because is Big Finish community more closely knit because most of these fans are the older fans of the show who may, I remember when Battlestar Galactica came out, the newer version. Dad was so annoyed that Starbuck was a girl because that's not what it was in the
70s.
1970s or whatnot. And you know what? I can, from all the changes that they do for some of the modern Who stuff, I understand. But for me, and eventually for my dad, it became less of a distraction because the writing and the stories
was so good. Yeah.
So
Yeah. But then, I think that can be put to any show, though, isn't it? That if the writing is good, you can kind of overlook that. Oh, well, this is different and this has changed. But I don't know. It would be interesting to dissect that actually in further detail to see why people are more willing to have a discussion and a debate. Because I generally do think that people are losing the ability to have polite discourse and polite debates online due to social media, personally. So, maybe it might be because Big Finish is audio drama and, in comparison to TV, audio drama is obviously a niche market, even though it's huge and it has grown in recent years. In England, in America, and sort of in other places like Germany. But I don't know. Maybe people understand that, so they're more up to having an actual level-headed discussion versus TV audiences. I don't know, but yeah.
So, And it's one of the questions, and I do have an idea for a future podcast that I want to bounce off you. I'll do it right in a second. But one of the things that I constantly hear from fans who have been vocal, I mean, you and me, I will say more than you than me with the end of the Moffat run, you know, get along, little doggy, just please leave. Then, of course, there was the Chris Chibnall era, which, I mean, was massively divisive or whatnot. I think to some extent you have RTD Part 2 massively divisive at the same exact time.
Yeah.
And one thing that I've seen on social media, whether it be Facebook groups or Twitter or whatnot, a lot of people say, give me rickety sets, but give me quality writing. And the interesting thing about that is I understand where they're coming from, but I don't believe them at the same exact time. And I'm interested to hear what your thoughts are, being blind and whatnot, because, you know, you say that, and, you know, one of our first few, you know, audio focus podcasts that we did, which was Warriors of the Deep, which I found the story quite good and enjoyable. The story itself is marred by the overlighting, the clunky clunky special effects was all of it, but you know, the styrofoam door that's supposed to be crushing somebody. You had the pantomime, I can't think, Merker,
yeah.
and then, you know, it had one thing against it, and so that one is held kind of laughable because of all the things. But these are the same people who, you know, it's endearing because of the age. It was an
Well,
embarrassment of the creators at the time, like you, Eric, say
I mean,
whatnot.
I think it still is for a lot of people, which is a shame because the story, if you just don't focus on the visuals,
Yeah. Well,
is
but here,
really tight. You know, is really tight and really well written, and is a really good story. And I think that's another problem is that people don't tend to focus on the story as much. I think the visuals perhaps sometimes get in the way of the story, or people don't concentrate on the story as much because of the visuals or the and whether that be good or bad visuals. So whether that be amazing visuals, you know, oh my god, that scene was really good. You know, people talk about that scene, or oh, Blake Seven, oh, you know, it was awful because you could see the sets move and yada yada yada, and
yeah. Well, but
So
I think, yeah, and I think the hard part about all of that, though, is, and what I'm trying to get at is people are constantly saying, you know, I don't care if the sets are a tad bit more rickety or whatnot, or the CGI is, you know, a little bit more sketchy. They say that, but that's going to be one of the things that they, you know,
they'll complain about
in-
because they'll go, oh, Doctor Who's gone down in quality because look at the poor sets. So you know, it's 2025. It's not 1970 anymore, right? So
Mhm.
I don't know. I think people are just, you know, we're in this world of immediate gratification, and instant gratification, and I think if it doesn't go someone's way, then they don't like it, or you know, and that's the thing. I think in some regards, like, and I'd say probably this is the only time that it is perhaps a bonus to having a disability, is that I don't concentrate on the special effects because I can't.
Yeah.
So my entire investiture even is in the story and the writing. And if that doesn't hold up, then you know I'm like, not so keen on this, or I don't, or this isn't clicking with me, or whatever. Um, eh, and as a result, you know, I like a lot of shows that probably people, you know, either find quite niche or you know, struggle with animation wise or whatever. But like that doesn't bother me. So like I've, you know, like uh, a sci-fi show that I really like, you know, for the story because the storytelling is really good is Farscape. you're not very keen because it's got
A marionette puppet.
well, a couple of puppets, which again, really well integrated into the show, considering that they decided to make two characters, fully fledged mainline characters. A really brave move. But yeah, but the stories generally are really good, and the vision for that show and the feel for that show is really unique and hasn't been topped since. And in a way, I'm so glad that they haven't rebooted it, because it there's just some shows that just deserve that. Okay, this is completely niche. This is completely its thing. Blake Seven. I'm so glad that we are instead. We're in 2025, and there's not been talks of, oh, let's do a Blake Seven TV series.
Yes.
And it's like, you don't need to. Leave it alone. Like, yeah, I mean, the BBC are actually remastering it, by the way. So if you wanted to watch Blake Seven again and give it a go, buy it on Blu-ray. Season 1 is out. Series 2 is on pre-order. They have updated all the, not just the visuals, they've also updated the sound, and it sounds amazing. It's way more crisp on the dialogue and the sounds as well.
Mhm.
So I'd be intrigued to see maybe if you can purchase the Blu-rays and start watching it and see what you think of the remastered versions. Going forward, that might perhaps give you a better appreciation of it, perhaps, potentially.
Okay.
So
Let's see. I'm just looking this up. Currently, Amazon has. I'm going to be curious to see, because oftentimes with Doctor Who stuff, indeed, they'll use the Region 2 cover art to sell certain things, and it's quite interesting to see if this is actually authentically a Region 1 Blu-ray, or if this is a Region 2 that they're trying to sell additionally.
to Region 1. Yeah, right,
yeah.
okay.
So yeah, I'd have to see it, because check out some of the reviews and make sure, because I do have an all regions Blu-ray edition currently. It's being sold for about $42. Not too bad of a price for Series 1.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I will tell you, I mean, oh my word. The other day, there must have been some special reason, and I know maybe it was having to do with, the end of season 2 for Shirigawa, but most all of the classic Doctor Who Blu-rays that they've done up until like the last couple of them, all on sale for like $17. And I am kicking myself, because it's just like, well, I have got to enjoy most of them. I haven't watched all of them, but oh my word, to be paying $17 instead of, $42, $52.
Dude, that's amazing.
I know. And so I'm kind of, I'm
Did you grab the ones you were missing then?
Well, here's the thing. The two that I'm missing, one of them hasn't come out in Region 1. The other one that I am missing, I think I picked up. Oh, is that new? That's new to me. Have they announced the John Pertwee Season 7 Blu-ray collection?
Season 7, what were the stories in that one?
That is Spearhead from Space.
Yes, that's out. I've got that one on the collector's edition.
That's news to me. I didn't know that was out. Well, I don't think, actually, according to this, it doesn't look like it's out in America. It looks like it's people selling the Region 2. But like, there's a couple of them that I haven't gotten that I think I would be. I'm almost waiting, because I swear it happens at least once or twice a year that the Doctor Who Blu-rays just massively drop in price.
Well, Prime Day's coming up, isn't it, soon? So that might be something to look out for.
Oh, speaking of, I know we're on a different subject or whatever. The War Games special edition in Blu-ray. Are you going to pick that sucker up?
No.
Okay. So I'm looking at, I probably will pick it up because I will tell you, I don't know if you listen to the podcast. I did do a review of Doctor Who and the Celestial Toymaker, even though I was criticizing and still stand by my criticism of the not good animation for that story. It makes it, I think the animation detracts from the story, like these. And I know some people are like, well, it's very creative. It's one of its own or whatnot, but whatever. I found the special features. Again, I'm a special feature snob. So interesting. And then
I'm waiting for the season 6 complete box set, basically.
Yeah.
So
I know. But here's the interesting thing about this, because I think I will get the War Games special feature. You're right. What are we only waiting for? The Space Pirates and what's the Cyberman story? Wheel in Space. Waiting for those two, and then obviously they'll release that. But here's what at least the region 1 back of the standard Blu-ray looks like. So it has the synopsis of when the TARDIS lands amid the horrors of World War I. The Doctor uncovers a threat spanning galaxies and history itself. But this time, saving the day might doom the Doctor forever in an all-newly colorized edition of a classic adventure. Get a load of the special features. It says, includes loads of bonus features.
Well, I mean, sweet. I can't wait.
I know.
Yeah, loads. Awesome.
Loads. All right.
I mean, what's loads? Is that more than a few and less than lots, or how are we quantifying loads of bonus features here?
The other thing is the animation of the Savages. I just barely saw it is connected with this. I think I will pick that up. One of the things as I stare at my collection is I do have, because Legion almost has me in full need to buy the steel book of these things. But then, of course, I have to pay the international shipping fee and whatnot. So it's just, and then you don't really get any, besides I feel as though Power of the Daleks and a few other ones, I don't feel as though I'm losing out on getting the non-steelbook one. But this one's interesting because we did do an era comparison. And this one has the special features of the animated black and white and obviously the color. And then it has the reconstructions of episodes 1 through 4, surviving footage compilations. But, and here's what I think is really interesting, an audio commentaries and Innes Lloyd documentary. I'm really interested in that, especially because of one of our early era comparisons with Innes Lloyd.
Yeah, that could be interesting. I mean, I don't think there's really been much on Innes Lloyd, is there, on the Blu-rays? As far as I'm aware, I could be wrong. So that would be interesting.
Oh, also, so in one of my solo podcasts, I discussed about the lack of, what do I want to say? Since Disney has taken over, the lack of being able to purchase the current series of Doctor Who has been off the table. The only way that you can watch it is on Disney Plus. They've most recently put up for sale the 3 60th anniversary specials, as well as the first Shooty special, Christmas special, as well as season 1
and season 2 has been announced as well.
Season 2 is not available, but season 1 is available, and I think that's quite interesting that it's taken a long time for that to occur. But
I think they announced season 2 coming out on Blu-ray and Steelbook about 3 days after the finale aired. But that is interesting. You're right.
Yeah, because it's one of those things that, and what I'm going to be interested is are they going to be including for because I know you guys got them, but the memory TARDIS episodes or whatnot.
Oh, yeah. The Tales of the TARDIS stuff.
I'm curious if they're gonna include that in the Blu-ray or Steelbook or whatever.
Interesting. Yeah, I'd hope. I mean, you'd hope so, right?
Yes, exactly.
I mean, I think they should just I think they should just release the Tales of the TARDIS on Blu-ray anyway.
Oh yeah.
Sure. Are you getting cut down versions of Curse of Fenric, Earthshock? You know, what were the other ones?
Let's see. Wait, the memory TARDIS ones are
Tales of the TARDIS.
I'm not sure. I'd have to look them up.
But yeah, I can tell you actually.
Okay.
They are.
Let's see.
TV. Come on.
Just out of curiosity, is your computer microphone on, or is your actual microphone on?
My mic is on here.
On which one?
My actual mic.
On your computer?
Let me double check that in a minute.
Right. Is that better?
There we are.
Sorry about that. That's a bit of a pain in the ass. Oh well, never mind. Tales of the TARDIS. So we have Earthshock, the Mind Robber, Vengeance on Varos, the Three Doctors, the Time Meddler, the Curse of Fenric, and then Pyramids of Mars. And they are basically like, so they're sort of bookended. So you have the start and the end is basically different different companions and or doctors coming together and talking about the Doctor and or them or a little bit, and then it goes into a basically like an omnibus version of the episode.
Oh yeah, the like special 1 hour ones that they used to do.
Yep.
Okay. Hey, okay. So I just barely looked. So according to this, currently, the special sales for the Doctor Who, it's not 17. I misremembered. It's 27 though.
That's still good.
Still, that's really good. So these are what they currently have available. And one of the things that bothers me is because I'm curious if the BBC thinks that Doctor Who fans over in America won't understand. But each Doctor has, basically complete season 1. So, Tom Baker's first season is Tom Baker season 1 instead of
season 12.
Season 12. So currently they have season 1, which is 12, season 3, which is 14, season 7, which is 17, season 6, which is, I believe, 16, right? Or am I off?
It's
hate
confusing
this so much. Yeah.
Why don't they just call it season 12?
I don't know. It's one of those things where I'm like, I wonder if they think that we won't understand. And
Probably.
then you have the first Peter Davidson season, then Sylvester McCoy's season, the last one, Colin Baker's second one or first one, John Pertwee's second one, William Hartnell's season 2. I did get that one on actually a steal of a deal. I bought it for $20 at one point in time.
Nice.
Yeah, they have all of them that I already own, and I'm waiting. I guess I'm waiting out a couple of them because the ones that I don't have, I don't believe I have it says season 2 of Peter Davidson, and I don't have season 1 or season 7 of John Pertwee, and then I have season. No, and I don't have the second season of Sylvester McCoy. And so I'm waiting all of those out because I still have so many things to watch. Unlike, the UK where the special edition goes out of stock they really don't go out of stock over here.
No.
So I'm like not in a hurry to
purchase it. Yeah, which makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Doctor Who Magazine, the final
RTD kind of
RTD thing.
Mm.
And one of the things that they showed is his post-it note for season 1, season 2 of everything. So, and I don't know what you know and what you don't know. So I'm just going to go over this. And it starts off with Christmas, and then episode 1, Baby Farm, 2, Beatles, 3, what is it? Canomine? Gano? I don't know. Something. Number 4, Welsh. That's all it says. Number 5, Twitter. Number 6, had something and was scribbled out. Number 7 was called The Raid.
Yeah.
And then number 8 was the Empire of Death.
Mm-hmm.
Then it is Christmas 2, Robots is the first episode. Miami, episode 2. The 3, The Well, with an exclamation mark right by it. Number 4 is Meanwhile. Number 5 is, I'm going to guess, is it's hard to really read his name or read some of how he wrote it down, but I'm going to guess it is the writer's name, first name for the spider.
Anansi.
Yeah. Anansi. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then 6 is Eurovision. And then number 7 is The Slip. And number 8 is The End. And I know a lot of people, and one of the things that
he should have changed the end to up. Personally.
Slip up.
Yep.
And I know that now he's like changing what he meant. And, one of the things that I'm most proud of about, our podcast is we are very consistent. We might not be, like I've made mention numerous times. Up until that, as we got the special, not Companion Chronicle, that Black Dog episode.
Yeah, Short Trips.
Short Trips episode. We got that one probably about a month ahead of time to see if Big Finish would be gracious enough to grant us a 1 month ahead release so that we could give our proper reviews. And I think when we've talked about it, you maybe had been pulling punches or saying things were better than they might have been. And then when they granted us it because they liked what they heard, and then they came back and said, never mind, we're pulling everybody's listening ability to this. It's not just you. You and me came to the whole thing as, why were we pulling any punches? We just need to say exactly what we think of it and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, and from that point forward, I really feel as though we've been very consistent. And with RTD's inconsistency of what he meant by the end, because now he's like saying, well, actually, it was the end of the season. That's what I meant. That's what I always meant. And then you go, and it's puzzling because we previously had this with the Chris Chibnall era where it was supposed to be 5 years, but no, it was always meant to be 3 seasons.
Yeah.
But it was a 5-year plan.
Yeah.
I mean, unless he saw the future and was planning on COVID being a thing. I mean,
Supernatural did, didn't they?
Supernatural did?
Yeah, they foreshadowed COVID.
Interesting.
Because they talk about in one episode that there's a virus that it was released from China in a lab. They actually name dropped Corona, the coronavirus.
Oh, wow.
In the same episode. Yeah. So.
All right. So, do you want me to read the entirety of this article, or do you want me to? Because I know parts of it are underlined. So, do you want me to just kind of focus on that? Like, what would you?
Maybe the whole article and see what you think.
All right. So it says. So this comes from Chris Chibnall. Not Chris Chibnall. Wow. Sorry, RTD. Well, maybe not. It says, faithful reader, here it is. The complete list. Seasons 1 and 2. This has been on the drawing board next to my computer here in Manchester for years now. My handwritten list of ordered episodes in what we call first order. The second year is on the left of the first, which is odd. I'll call it timey-wimey, but the truth is, to the right, there is a drawing of my mate, Tom, for his birthday, so I had to adapt. And they aren't dated. That's mad of me. I should have known everything to do with Doctor Who is archived. Apologies, but it just was a scribble to the side of me to remind a reminder every day. Season 2 list wasn't written at the same time as season 1, of course. It grew as decisions were made. To be honest, this list was simply a crutch. Every time a shooting script was finally delivered, I'd put a tick next to the name. Oh, the relief. Whoops. It didn't really change that much, did it? Though I'm glad we came up with the title 73 Yards, not just Welsh. I didn't really keep track of the changes. There's stuff here I can't remember. I don't know what the big crossing out for season 1, episode 6 is, though I suspect that that was Inua Ellam's Shifting Seasons. I think Kate Herron and Bryony Redman came in slightly later with the Rogue pitch, and I thought, ooh, I like that. So I guess I bumped it up. Season 1, episode 7 looks odd. The Raid. Why was it called The Raid? When there wasn't a raid? But I can remember that way back when ideas were first taking shape, maybe the year before the actual scripts existed, I knew there'd be a Susan Triad, a modern day businesswoman. But it was much more, the story of two towers, the Unit Tower and a mile across the river, the Triad Tower. It was like a war across London with two landmarks glowering at each other. And that's where the raid came in. I imagined way back that a big part of the plot was the Doctor simply trying to meet Susan because she had layers of security around her. Mel Undercover would have reported that Susan Triad had a mysterious steel door in her private office, and Susan would demand to be left alone to open the door. That's interesting because that thing right there almost sounds like The Invasion with Packer and Tobias Vaughn.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah. It was a portrait to a sort of null space. She was a lot more aware of her heritage in those first ideas and went into the room to commune with Sutekh or something. Bear in mind, this was never written. These were just early thoughts.
See, that sounds way better.
It does sound way better because I feel as though if you teased the big bad, it would have made the reveal make more sense than it actually did.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it still does not. The Sutekh traveling around on top of the TARDIS just doesn't make any sense.
No. Just why?
Yeah. So the Doctor would have to carry out a raid, a heist, a big spy movie, Mission Impossible adventures to get inside Triad Towers. Again, that sounds so much better than what we actually got.
Mm-hmm.
Literally climbing the glass walls of the skyscraper, that sort of thing, all leading to a big climax. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Then it says, ideas grow and develop and change, not to mention the fact that the 11th Doctor once rode a motorbike up a skyscraper, the big show-off. So my raid seemed a little bit cumbersome. Why? I don't care that the 11th Doctor did that. Like, it doesn't... I
mean, I don't know. It's just like, why? Yeah, just so what if it's cumbersome? That episode we got was cumbersome.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
You know? So I don't know.
More importantly, the notion of Susan Triad evolved. She'd been unaware, even innocent, and much more forward-facing in public as a benefactor, so the secrecy disappeared. It made me laugh when I eventually wrote that scene of the Dr. Mel striding into the Triad Tower with a lanyard and flash the psychic paper. 20 seconds, which made me think this was once the entire plot. Yeah,
Well,
coming in and
if you can do that in 20 seconds, then maybe you should go back and rethink.
I mean,
I don't know.
flashing the psychic paper to enter a building would not be.
That's not like rewarding, is it? It's
No.
Like, give me the heist.
Exactly. Give me the heist. Yeah, I think he had it on the first try. You know what? If it was a Chris Chibnall script, it would be a first script.
One and done. Yep, done.
For rough draft, final draft.
Yep. Rough draft, the only draft.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
The idea lingered for the first couple of drafts, with FX adding another skyscraper to the London skyline. And yes, since there'd been no sign of the Triad Tower in the giggle, Kate said they built that fast. The unit helipad was much more important as they looked across the Triad Tower with Mel inside Triad, looking out at them. But no, it all slipped away, ideas changed, and the raid faded out of existence. A copy of an idea remembered only by me. The writer Julia, Rayside, calls those ideas a bay leaf, just leaving a taste, but I love it. But everything else, yes, very much as planned. I still think of Lucky Day as Meanwhile. I'd love to use that title one day, and changes were made as it went along, as with any show. But this, what? Okay, I'm going to start that. Okay, again, because my brain is not comprehending some of the things that he's writing. And changes were made as he went along, as with any show, but this order stayed and flourished as Ruby's time-lost life at Christmas circle round to Poppy's time-lost life. Oh, okay, now I get it. The two foundlings found each other so they could find a home for a third, Little Joe Sunday, all heading towards the end. No, not the end. Don't be mad. Doctor Who will never end. There are pathways leading to potential futures. We've still got a mystery of that bright and blazing ending. Oh, hello. Yes, indeed. Hello, Billy. And there's Susan, of course. I wonder if we'll ever find out who the boss is, or who the boss are. I'm still wondering who Gus is from The Mummy at the Orient Express. Maybe they're the same. But we don't know what's happening yet. And while everybody works that out, I'll take a pause on this page. Thanks for reading. Thanks to Doctor Who Magazine, a delight to work with you on this wonderful magazine. Oh, hopefully we'll have news soon, and certainly the war between the land and the sea is about to break out, and there are great things ahead. Until then, it has been an absolute joy.
So yeah, basically doesn't know what's going on at all.
No, I don't mean to sound condescending or whatever, but disparaging, but I would have expected better from RTD. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, or if you have a different feeling towards it compared to me, but I feel as though that the best episode of all of Series 1, Series 2 was it Boom? Written by Moffat. I'd have to say the second best one is The Well, sort of. And
I like Dot and Bubble because it was so experimental and it had such a...
See, I would not have minded Dot and Bubble. I would have put that one as the best episode of both seasons had they just kept with the social media aspect of the whole thing. but to take it up to the other level of it being complete racism or whatnot, and for it being a Dr. Light episode, I really struggled to like that idea. I thought it was a very interesting Black Mirror-ish episode. And I just liked the idea of, like, what was it? The main girl, she was so used to being controlled by technology that she struggled to not walk into an open mouth of this, like, razor sharp slug thing. Like, because she had no like will of her own to think her way out of that thing because, society, AI, technology, and whatnot. And then I feel as though I think the whole racism thing cheapened the entirety of the episode. At least that is my opinion.
Fair enough. But Boom was really good. Dot and Bubble. What else was good? I liked the story in the engine just because it was so different. In the sense we got to see a bit of the world that we haven't seen in Doctor Who. Well was good. Lux wasn't bad. And again, I liked Archie Punjabi as the Rani, but just the ending just fell flat again.
Mm-hmm.
So,
all right.
Yep.
So that was RTD's letter in Doctor Who Magazine. Now we're going to go to another letter, I believe. This is from GallifreyNewsroom.com and is entitled BBC Receives Complaints Over Series 15 Finale. And so I've not read this. You sent it to me, so I'm going to assume that you've read it and are aware of.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So it has summary of a complaint, and then it has BBC's response. So the summary of a complaint is BBC Television received complaints about their article, or Ncuti Gatwa regenerates into Billy Piper as he leaves Doctor Who. Some people were unhappy that they featured the departure of Ncuti Gatwa from Doctor Who, following up with the announcement that Ncuti Gatwa's regenerated into Billy Piper. So that is the summary of the complaint. BBC responds to the complaints as some people contacted us to complain that the headline gave away the ending, spoiling this Doctor Who episode for them. Others requested that the BBC be more conscious of spoilers going forward, particularly in the use of headlines. Okay. I've only just read just this one paragraph for BBC response. I have not scanned ahead whatsoever. That would be not my complaint at all, that your article spoiled the ending. I would say the entirety of altering Omega, changing the Rani to almost Missy level villainy, even though she's a scientist and whatnot. Somebody even said, I was listening to I can't remember if it was a podcast or if it was a YouTube channel, but somebody said that in preparation for this episode, the BBC's YouTube channel, or the Doctor Who YouTube channel done by BBC, did a 20-minute or so compilation summary on, and maybe 20 minutes is too, because I didn't watch it, but this is what I've heard, did a summary of who Omega was to prepare new fans who have not been watching Doctor Who, does not have a classic Blu-ray collection and DVD collection and VHS collection and, whatever, Target novelization collection. They did a nice summary of who Omega was to prep everybody. And then
they
to
change
have
it completely.
That to completely change it. Like, that's what the complaint should be, or the response should be. But I understand that, you had RTD who was in charge, and he has stated and he's changed, and I feel as though he's kind of backtracked a little bit and altered his stance regarding everything. revolving around the Omega and the Ronnie type of a situation.
Yeah, but it doesn't make sense though, because it's one, it's hypocritical, and two, it just doesn't make any logical sense. Oh yeah, we're bringing things back from the past, but Doctor Who's got to look to the future. What, by looking back at the past and then going, oh, time war?
Well, and that's the thing. I've always been fine with the time war. I really have. I feel as though the time war is a perfectly logical situation to have the Doctor isolated. And it happened off screen, and there was no, wondering why this is occurring. Now you have a situation, again, where it took so many years to bring back Gallifrey, only to wipe them all out, only to have Omega, which, because the 14th Doctor said the underverse. Now we have to change the origin. We have to change how he got there. I thought you'd think that a fan, and I say this criticizing both RTD and Chris Chibnall, you'd think that a fan who has loved the show from their youth would honor the show, not, okay, I'm going to use this thing. I'm not going to really give it much background information. It's just going to appear. And you could say to some extent, the complaint could be, well, didn't you do that with the Master? And I actually reflect on that question that I just posed, because I posed it to myself, because I think a lot more people were open to the Master, because I think what happened before with that 2-part Paul Cornell story, I can't think of what it's called. I know I don't really particularly care for that.
Human Nature and Family of Blood.
Yes. Yeah, the Human Nature story. You've already set up the precedent where the Doctor could forget who he was, to cease being detected as a Time Lord and almost be human and live a human life. And then you have Dr. Yanis do the same exact thing, to be revealed that he's a Time Lord at the very end of the episode. And then you establish in the first episode, from that point forward, that he is the Doctor's counterpart, his Moriarty, and you have him constantly battle. It's not that, the Ronnie gets revealed at the end of an episode only to kind of be un-Ronnie-like, only to reveal Omega, who is complete un-Omega-like, for both of them to be, almost have, what is it? Omega had about 3 minutes of screen time, maybe?
About 3 minutes, yeah. And then for him to just eat the Ronnie.
And then the Ronnie, I mean, we didn't really establish her character, really.
Well, we established it more than bloody Omega's character.
Well, yeah. I mean, she came in, kissed the baby, and then turned the mom into butterflies. She kissed the baby, and she turned the kids into ducks. And then she, was constantly going back and forth between Conrad and a couple other things, but we still really didn't get the scientist with no moral compass type of a personality, which she has. I
mean, look at Mark and the Ronnie. Mm-hmm. You have her actually with experiments and stuff, experimenting in which century? England.
Yeah. Well, one of my favorite things that it haunted me a little bit as a kid is those landmines that she created that would literally turn you instantly into a tree.
Yeah.
I remember going camping as a kid and just looking down, because the idea of not just blowing up, but forever existing as a tree, that was frightening.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, so it says Ncuti Gatwa's departure from the series had been widely speculated for many fans. Speculated, and many fans will have been aware that that was a possibility. Well, I would say yes and no, because you'd think that it was a possibility, but whenever it was discussed, everybody always downplayed it. And the only thing that the BBC would respond with, and or Radio Times, would be saying, well, he's not fired.
Yeah.
The headline on the news homepage that evening referred to Ncuti Gatwa's departure because this was a legitimate entertainment news story in its own right, and not the unusual. It is not that unusual that we would carry this type of story once the program had been broadcast and the details were public domain. We cannot account for everyone's viewing habits. We initially held back from the headlining the announcement of Ncuti Gatwa's regeneration into Billy Piper. This extra detail was added later in the evening, and our approach was very consistent across the BBC sites. BBC journalists are, of course, entitled to their judgments to decide which stories to cover and the manner in which they are reported. We also want our headlines to be as informative as possible. Although every story is different, we have discussed your concerns on this occasion with the senior editor, and we will be mindful of your views in the future. Okay.
Mm-hmm. That's basically, yeah, we've talked about it. Go fuck yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Pretty much.
We're sorry you feel that way.
Thanks for all the fish.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Interesting. All right. So it says Doctor Who's future stalled due to Disney issues, says former writer. So this is again from Doctor Who TV. Mark Gatiss, one of the most prolific contributors to the modern era of Doctor Who, has spoken out about the uncertain future of the show, placing the blame on the reported troubled Disney deal. Gatiss, known for writing multiple episodes across Russell T Davies and Stephen Moffat eras, and for appearing on screen several times to be a part of the program since its 2005 revival. Speaking at the Italian Globe Series Festival via Deadline, he said, "I don't think anyone knows what's going on with Doctor Who at the moment." He added, "All I know is that it is all about the Disney deal." The comments come amid mounting speculation over the fate of the show following the surprise regeneration of Ncuti into Billy Piper. The BBC has yet to confirm whether Piper is officially the 16th Doctor. I sure hope not.
Mm-hmm.
Further fueling fan theories and debate, Gatiss last wrote for the show's 2017 Empress of Mars. That wasn't that bad of a show. And later that year appeared in Twice Upon a Time. I just hated the character of Lethbridge Stewart. And well, I guess it was the,
Relative.
David Bradley, first Doctor, massively sexist and stuff like that. That's what really bothered me. Reflecting on his absence since then, he quipped, "I'm 2 doctors down, and once you're 2 doctors down, you don't come back." The Disney Plus partnership, reportedly worth about $100 million per series, was structured as an exclusive multi-season deal. In television distribution, exclusive rights typically remain in place until the contract expires or is formally terminated. Pending the last-minute change, the Disney agreement will reportedly end after the new spin-off drops. If true, it may mean that the BBC must wait until the deal is fully concluded before entering discussions with potential new partners such as Netflix, HBO Max, or Prime Video. So the article that I read revolving around the tease of new partnerships has basically Prime is out on the deal completely.
Yeah.
I think from what I recall, Netflix is very interested, but they want to take more of control.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
And then it'd be interesting because HBO Max / Warner is and has had a contract with them for a while, as well as Sony.
And they have had Doctor Who previous as well. So
exactly. And so, but the only struggle with HBO Max is it's owned by Warner Media. And Warner Media has basically, to prevent itself from going bankrupt completely because they owe billions of dollars, they are underwater so massively that they split their company into 2 separate entities.
Yeah.
And so I think with that, you could almost say HBO Max might not be on the table. And really, and one of the other things that they brought up was Paramount Plus because, they do own, Paramount does own a Star Trek. And it's be interesting to see if Paramount or whatnot would undertake that. I don't think it would be anywhere close to the money that you'd be making from Netflix. But it'd be kind of interesting if they did that, and if there was kind of a partnership, if you would start getting some Star Trek, Doctor Who crossover stuff.
I hope not.
I mean, yeah. The Cybermen and the Borg story was fun, kind of, and I was glad to, stop reading the comic afterwards. So it's going to be interesting to see. I think it just depends on what the BBC wants, and because
if they can get if they can get a deal going forward with anyone.
Well, also the article that I was looking for, I believe, said that not only did Netflix really want massive control, but they also wanted to boot RTD, and I believe BBC and RTD were thoroughly opposed to that.
Well, there's a rumor that he's already stepped down.
Yeah, well, there is, and then the person who posted that on Reddit has deleted that.
That's interesting, though, because I mean, you just think, well, why? Is that because actually that's true and he's been, called out for it, or it's total bullshit?
Yeah.
So
yeah, either he's being harassed because he was making mistakes, or it's massively true. Well, I guess only time will tell.
Yep.
All right. So now with that down, we're gonna go to Big Finish. All right. One thing I want to ask before we even start. A Feast of Stephen, the 60-year mark of the first time Steven Taylor appeared portraying Peter Purvis, it now has a Doctor Who short that is free to download. I have not yet listened to this. It is written by Jacqueline Renier, but it'll be...
I'm glad that Jacqueline Renier is back on board for doing stuff. And that it was nice to get some free stuff from Big Finish for once.
Yeah. I mean,
to be honest,
sometimes I feel as though the free stuff just kind of, goes unnoticed by me because it gets all like lost in the app. Because I used to be a massive downloader of every single thing on my computer, putting it on iTunes, connecting it to my phone and or my iPod, and now everything just exists on the app.
And do you know what I found strange as well? They released Missy, Dark Gallifrey, Missy 3.3, and they didn't put a news article up about it.
Really? Interesting. They did put a news article for Fractured Dimensions for Unit.
Fractures, but not for Missy. Yeah, it's weird.
Interesting. The chase is on. Paul McGann, Sonny McGann, Emma Campbell-Jones race across the stars in Time War, Uncharted, Pursuit. A brand new box set of full cast audio dramas released today. What? I didn't. Is that part of
Time War? Yeah, it's the next box set in the Time War stuff.
I own that. Where did that? I got all the Time War stuff for the 8th Doctor. Where I swear I just barely updated my app and did some downloads. I will tell you, I am so grateful though that the app is the original classic app. It is so much better than the Big Finish one. I do appreciate one thing that I can honestly say is I do appreciate that Big Finish listens to the fans, their complaints. Their
the amount of complaints they got, I mean, I don't think they had no choice but to.
You say that, and then you have some corporations that are just like, suck it.
Yeah, but they were losing business. It was obvious.
Oh, okay.
It was very obvious because people were like, no, I'm not touching this until they sort the app out or the website. Because they're like, I literally can't buy. And it's like, and I'm not going to risk putting my my credit card details in and buying a purchase and it not going through, and that kind of thing. So like they had no choice but to. I mean, the amount of complaints they got was just insane.
And then, of course, you got featured as one of your emails being read by Nick Briggs. And then you took a shot at the Facebook fan page.
Yep.
Oh, one of these days, I
was very angry that day. I just had enough. I was like, well, it's either going to get seen or it isn't. And
I'm still somewhat annoyed that you voluntarily left the Facebook fan page, because I tried to rejoin it, and one of these days maybe I'll break down all that I did to try to rejoin the Facebook page, and either I stink from high heaven, or they have that page on massive lockdown. Like that's all I'm saying.
It sounds like it's the latter, to be honest.
Yeah. Let's see. So Doctor Who Time War Uncharted 2. Where was Time War Uncharted 1?
That is called
there
Reflections.
it is. Reflections. Okay, I do have that one.
You don't have 2. You have to purchase 2 and 3 in a bundle.
Okay. When did they announce 2? I don't remember seeing this.
When they released it, I think.
So they announced it by releasing it?
They announced 2 and said it was out, and then they said, well, get 2 and 3 in a bundle. I'm like, fuck's sake. Because I was like, hang on. I was like, haven't I got 2? And then realised that they hadn't put up the bundle for pre-order until that point. I was like, oh, god damn it. So, like, that annoyed me, because it was like, oh, okay, I haven't got this either. So, I'm like, but
all right. Well, learn something new every day.
Ooh,
is that right? Mark Wright is back writing. All right. Because so we have 4 stories in there. We have Spoils of War by Mark Wright, Tales of Alex by Catherine Armitage, Seesaw by James Moran, and The First Forest by Tim Foley. Man, Tim Foley is getting so much work.
Yeah, but he's been so good recently at writing.
Yeah.
Like he's on fire. So
I was going to say either he's a good writer, and he is, or he has massive blackmail on the big wigs at Big Finish. It could be both. What is your thoughts? Because I am not picking this up. And I think no. It's not the Time War. I'm not picking this one up that I'm about ready to talk to you. I am very interested in picking up the Time War. But I'm curious your thoughts are, because I'm completely out. And I think you will know why I'm completely out of this. So I saw this about a couple weeks ago, which is basically when it got announced. And then I believe it is already available to buy and download and listen, if memory serves me right. But the Space Security Service with Jane Slavin and Joe Sims as,
Anya Kingdom and Mark 7.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't know. I think it'd be kind of funnier if he just did his normal Bristolian accent. It would be hilarious. All right, Anya. I've got it. Haven't listened to it yet. Should be interesting. It could be very campy. Well, we'll see. I don't know. As I say, haven't listened to it yet. It's on my to-do list. So yeah.
Interesting. Okay. So here's the interesting thing. So again, one of the things I go to first, I'm struggling to want it because of Mark 7, because he just doesn't really have much depth. And then whenever he does
I think that's the point of this box set. It does specifically say that you see more of his development. So
okay. So the first one, The Void in London, written by L.R. Hay. Now, I'm nothing but consistent. I decided to check in to see who is L.R. Hay. There's only two things that they've ever written before, and that is this one and the First Doctor Unbound Knights of the Round Table, or
That's coming
Knights
up.
of the Round TARDIS.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I don't think Knights of the Round that's not out yet. Is it?
No, it's coming up.
No, it's coming out. Yeah, I do have that pre-ordered. So interesting. So one writer in that one has two works. One of them is this one and something that has yet to come out. The Thal from Grace, or GRACE, because there's
Mm-hmm.
it stands for something, is written by Felicia Barker, and they have done a short trips for volume 11 and volume 12. They did one of the stories in The Return of Joe Jones, which
Mhm.
was the conservators, let's see, on the planet Viltris in the 49th century regime obsessed with statistical analysis of... I kind of like that one, but that was the one where the Doctor used mathematics to allow himself to escape.
Mm.
That one's not too bad. She did one for the Victory of the Doctor.
Oh, that was a good box set, actually. That was a really good box set.
I will tell you. You and Legion talking that up, and the 11th Doctor had like a massive sale a little while ago. I picked them all up. Haven't listened to them, but picked them all up. Yeah.
Dude, listen to them. They are honestly, Valerie is an amazing companion.
Mm.
And Victory of the Doctor is amazing because it brings back the Dalek paradigm, but in a really cool way.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. So it looks like this Felicia Barker has some
experience.
Experience. And then Angus Duncan has done quite a lot. A couple of short trips. Also, the 11th Doctor Chronicles. Did one of the stories on Ronnie Takes on the World, the 9th Doctor Adventures, Buried Threats, as well as the 4th Doctor Adventures, The Curse of Time, which I've not yet listened to because I am so far behind in everything.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Well, there's that. Just interesting about that. What else is it going to talk to you about? Sullivan and Smith and Sullivan, the latest or reunited box set or series.
Yeah, I'd say before you do that, you have to listen to the end of the latest Sylvester McCoy box set, Pass Forward.
Okay. Just
because of how it finishes the time off with Harry and Naomi. So, yeah.
All right. And then let's see, what was I going to ask you? There's a couple of them I was going to ask you. All right. So in a previous podcast, you and Legion actually brought up the fact that do you think, or he actually, to be accurate, he didn't say do you think, he said, I have heard some Big Finish fans find the David Bradley Doctor as an unbound Doctor. And I interrupted and said, I actually am fine with that. And actually, I back that 100%. What are your thoughts about this unbound First Doctor as portrayed by David Bradley having the same cast as the David Bradley, the first couple seasons of them?
Again, this is weird. If they had done this a couple of years before and had all of this as unbound, right, including the first 2 seasons, totally fine.
Yeah.
But because you have those 2 seasons and then now the unbound stuff, it's like, well, the first 2 seasons canon and then we're going to the unbound universe, and if so, that's a bit weird because you know, it's like going, oh, McCoy, yeah, he's a Prime Doctor. Oh, we're making him the another unbound Doctor. Why?
Yeah.
Reasons.
Well, kind of like how they went from Tom Baker to the
Oh
Colin Baker one. That
God, the
was
Doctor. Oh my God, don't even go there. You know, I'm so glad that. Ugh. What was that? What were those box sets about? Seriously, like, what was the point?
Yeah. I was hoping
Ugh.
that was going to be more of a kind of a
A what if retelling of his era? Like, that would have been great,
yes.
but it wasn't, and it like what? Do you, I can tell you what that is, right? I can guarantee it. 4 words. No, sorry, 3 words. Nick Briggs fan wank. I think that should be the entire review for both box sets.
Pretty much, especially when he wrote himself in as himself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right at the end with, oh yeah, Colin, yeah, you're good. Do you want to come out the sound booth? Are we really doing this?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Yeah, okay, all right.
Also, what is your thought about the new Lost story for the Seventh Doctor? Because it's been a while since we've done a couple.
No feeling on it one way or the other.
Oh, really?
Just because I didn't realize that was a lost story. Don't know. Could be interesting. Doesn't sound that exciting to me, but that's just a synopsis, so it could be amazing.
Yeah.
So who knows? I guess we'll see.
Who is this Robin McCarthy or whatever? Because it says
Robin who?
The person who wrote it. It says the original writer Robin McCarthy or whatever went to have a successful career as film and TV screenwriter, is now returning to the worlds of Doctor Who and to adapt his story into an audio drama. Okay.
Never heard of the guy.
I guess I'm gonna have to
look him up because I don't know who
Google
he is.
him. I only ask because they made it sound like everybody should know who this is. So,
maybe, but I don't know who he is, to be honest. It doesn't ring a bell anyway.
All right, so I'm gonna go to Wikipedia because that's where everything
correct accurate information is.
It looks like he wrote for Casualty on BBC One.
Oh, okay.
And then he wrote a production called The Bill.
Yep.
For ITV.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's Boone. I don't know what that is. Grushko.
No.
Medics. Harry.
No.
He wrote a couple of looks like the television film for the original Poldark.
Okay.
Dance with the Wind. Backup. The Broken Man. Plastic Man. Where the Heart Is. East Enders. It looks like he wrote for various.
Where the Heart Is. That was a good show. Mm-hmm.
Let's see. The Royal. Roman Mysteries. Combat Kids. Lore.
Nope.
And then Hetty Feathers.
Oh, Hetty Feather. Yeah. That's it's one done by RTD actually. I think it's produced or written by RTD. Interestingly.
All right. So that is
kids show.
His it's according to his Wikipedia, he's a British screenwriter, author, and teacher. So all right.
Fair enough.
All right. So we have those. Let's see. According to this, the writer says that the story Axelon came out of a conversation with Andrew Cartmel. Oh, great. So it's going to be not good. Supported by John Nathan Turner, the first producer to offer me a television commission up to the point that I'd written for theater and radio and was just finding my feet in the industry. All right. So this could be part of Cartmel's master plan. So, I mean, now we have to massively question that now. All right. What else do we have?
The new pre-orders for the Classic
Oh.
Doctor box sets for 2026.
Let's see. Yeah, let me find that link.
Early bird offers on.
Yeah, were you able to? Oh, there it is, right at the very top. Missed it right in front of my face. Were you able to get £5 off for being the first? Oh,
Nope.
all right. So the first 400 customers who purchased the Classic Doctors 2026 before the 30th of June 2025 will also receive a free gift. Oh, I don't. So now they're not even giving like £10 off. You're getting a free gift of your choice of the 10th Doctor Classic Companions, which
Already got it.
Already have, or the 10th Doctor Chronicles Volume 2. Already got it.
Already got it. Don't know why. It's a crap story, but anyway, who cares?
200 free copies of each set are available. This gift will be made accessible immediately after purchase as a digital download, and we'll be shipping out the CD box sets alongside the first Classic Doctor CD releases for 2026. Please notice this offer does not apply to download bundles. All right. So what do we got? It says creative director, not just director, creative director Nick Briggs said, there's a lot to look forward to in 2026 as our creative team at Big Finish have come up with brilliant new adventures for all the Classic Doctors. There'll be another tale for the first Doctor as he encounters another classic companion.
Polly.
What was that?
Polly.
Okay.
Polly. Yep.
Followed by a continuation of the second Doctor's post-war game travels. It's kind of now cheapened slightly because of the modern retake telling altercation of the war games. But you know what? Let's not let get in our way. Then the varied news stories for the third Doctor, including a prequel to one of his recent adventures.
I still want a prequel to Zoltis, you know?
Yeah. Well, and you know, the interesting thing about that is, there's going to be a new BBC book featuring the 15th Doctor and
Belinda?
What?
Belinda?
Belinda.
The Moon
and they
Cruise?
are to meet. I thought they were going to meet something. And then you have the 13th Doctor with what's her face going to be meeting vampires in their first story. I believe both stories might intertwine vampires. I think. I know the audio one does, but I'm not sure about the 15th Doctor.
The audio, the 13th Doctor one does, not the 15th Doctor one.
Oh, okay.
No.
All right. And so let's see. So yeah. And then it says senior producer John Ainsworth added 2026 brings us brand new adventures for all our Doctors, taking them to new worlds facing old enemies and reunions with old friends. The fourth Doctor is back with Sarah Jane for a whole new series of stories, and some other friends might pop up too. The fifth Doctor will have a terrifying encounter with a deadly foe, and the sixth Doctor will have a surprising reunion. Better not be Hebe.
Please be flippant, Constance.
I know, right?
Come on.
The seventh Doctor has two different box sets with two different companions, and the eighth Doctor next adventures are among the most exciting yet. Additionally, individual 2026 pre-order multi-buy bundles are available for each Classic Doctor priced as follows. So out of all of those, I know you got them all. Which ones are you most excited for?
Well, it depends on what's going to go on with the sixth Doctor and the eighth Doctor, and also the seventh. You know, they could be really interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a mark for all things fourth Doctor and third Doctor. So
I mean, I looked at the most recent box sets, for Series 14, and none of the synopsis is really grabbing me. Honestly, I'm looking forward to the fourth Doctor and Sarah Jane just because it's fourth Doctor and Sarah Jane, and we haven't had a series with her yet, and I like Sarah Jane, and so that would be nice. Be nice if it would be Sarah and Harry, actually.
All right, now I'm curious. Series 14. So you have the Hellwood
Inheritance.
Inheritance.
Mm.
So, and that is Alan Barnes. Then you have The Memory Thieves by Phil Mulryan. Let's see. When the Doctor and Leela are chased through a countryside by a headless knight, it's only the start of their problem because they are in the grounds of the Hellwood Manor, the first safari park for ghosts. Huh. I liked the introduction of that synopsis until we got the first safari park for ghosts. Mistaken by
Raggy? Anyway, sorry. Couldn't resist.
Good job.
Yep. See, there you go. There's K9. He's gone wrong, and he's Scooby Doo
Ah.
for one episode.
The colony world of New Palacia was peaceful for many years, but strange electric pulses started to be detected into the forest, and then they started to get even stronger, and then the people lost their memories. The Doctor and Leela landed in a community in turmoil, doomed to insanity by the mysterious Abbients, unless the Doctor's TARDIS crew can save them. But reports of monsters have been seen in the locality, and this may prove harder than expected. Do you know the funny thing about so on all of these things, it says, please note that the collector's CD box set is strictly limited to 1,500 copies. One of the things that has been, I've noticed, annoying some of the people in multiple Big Finish groups that I'm in, not the Big Finish fan page because I laugh emojied, and that's, I guess, against the rules, even though I took screenshots of the rules and that is nowhere to be seen. It just hurt somebody's feelings that they got.
You should have actually posted that to one of the admins and gone, look, here's the rules. I put one emoji. Why have I been kicked?
Mm-hmm. Anyway, one of the things that have been really annoying some of the people in recent times is the Big Finish Facebook page kind of reminding people, now remember, there's only 1,500 copies left of this on CD, or it's a collector's edition. And some people are like taking screenshots and saying, when you already have a limited number, saying that it's a special limited number makes it less special. Now, if it was specially numbered, that would be another possible.
Yeah, maybe.
All right. So the next one, the one that just barely came out this month, the Fourth Doctor Adventure Series 14, The Ruins of Kerala. Let's see. So that is written by Phil Mulryan, The Remains of Kerala. When a time anomaly brings the TARDIS down to the planet Kerala, the Doctor and his companions set out to investigate. They soon meet two escapees from a nearby containment camp who warn them of a mysterious cave creature. Whoa. You talk about Scooby-Dooing right there. That is the synopsis of every Scooby-Doo mystery right there. Let's see. And then, interesting. Why would they do that? So the box set has 14.3, the remains of Kolra, and then 14.4 is the ruins. Okay, there we are. That's why they did it. And that is the TARDIS crew have attempted to depart only for an experiment gone awry to drag them back to the earlier point in the world's history. That sounds interesting. I'm going to be quite interesting. I almost wish that story was written by Jonathan Morris, because I feel as though that would probably be a tad bit better.
And there's also there's also a synopsis for 14.3 as well.
Yeah. I read 14.3.
No, sorry, the final box set in the series 14.
Okay, well, just 1 second. So then you have another two-parter by Tim Foley, and that is the Brigadier used the time-space telegraph to summon the TARDIS from a stormy Geneva, where the World Peace Conference has been interrupted by a mysterious death. The Irish delegate had died of fright after seemingly being visited by a banshee. All right. Okay. You know, this second box set doesn't seem so bad. The third one, the last queen of the Nile, And so the cover art not only has Cleopatra, but it also has the silence on there. So you have Conspiracy of the Silence, written by Jonathan Morris. This is something has happened on an oil rig. Something so that is so Fourth Doctor and Third Doctor. Something's happened on an oil rig. Something's happened in a mining town. Something's happened in a Welsh village.
Yep.
And then 14.7, The Last Queen of the Nile by David K. Barnes. The TARDIS lands a few miles away from Alexandria in Egypt, where the Doctor, Leela, and K9 encounter Mark Antony. Returning from a military campaign as he joins Cleopatra, they realize they are about to witness one of the most famous romances in history. But this romance threatens the power of Rome, where the ambitious Octavian Caesar is attempting to convince the Senate to declare war on the Queen of the Nile. A tragedy of Shakespearean proportions is about to unfold. The time travelers are trapped in the middle. The one thing that I am annoyed by what they've done is I know that this is a 2-parter, 3-part, or 2-parter, 4-parter. But in all of these synopsises, they're not telling you which one's a 2-parter and which one's the 3-parter or the 4-parter. Because some of the actually take that back. With the Hellwood Inheritance, they do.
And also with the Ruins of Carolina, they say as well, I think.
They don't, but because there's only 3 of them, each one of those is a 2-parter. And so with the Last Queen of the Nile, they don't. And so it's, the Conspiracy of the Silence, that sounds good enough to possibly be a 2-parter. It could be a 4-parter. Last Queen of the Nile, I almost would hate for that to be a 4-parter. I don't know, just me. Yeah, so for me, what I'm most excited for, obviously I said I'm a mark for the 3rd and 4th Doctor. The 5th Doctor, the synopsis for the 2026 2 box sets really quite interests me. The 5th Doctor will have a terrifying encounter with a deadly foe. Okay, I mean, the 5th Doctor actually has been, I think, one of the more consistent box sets dating back to the 40.
Yeah. And speaking of, actually, interestingly, got some tidbits from Big Finish Day. I didn't go myself, but currently there is Peter Davison hasn't been phoned in a year to do anything for Big Finish.
Ooh.
And currently the 5th and 7th Doctor ranges do not have producers.
Really? Interesting.
So I don't know how far in advance they've recorded for both 5th and 7th, but yeah.
So interestingly, so I just clicked on the 2026 Part A, Part B. For at least 2026, I'm surprised at the name of the producer. I'm curious how much work that this person has done. Maybe I know you're probably more caught up with Big Finish than I am. So I will just okay. So I will just tell you. So senior producer is John Ainsworth. I don't think that big of a surprise. Producer Sonny McGann. Yeah. I'm very intrigued. Color me intrigued. I'm gonna go to the 6th Doctor to see who. So for the 6th Doctor for 2026, again, senior producer John Ainsworth, producer Jacqueline Rainier.
I like the fact that they've got Jacqueline Rainier back because she is a good writer. So that's good that they've got her in some sort of capacity.
And then 7th Doctor, senior producer, same thing. Producer Emma Haig, which is a familiar name. The 3rd Doctor, you have, I've never heard of that person. Lizzie Warsdell.
Lizzie Warsdell? No, I've not heard of her.
Yeah, let's see. I'm going to just click to see. All right. she, I'm just going to click on this just to see where her work has been. Producer, Lizzie. She was a voice actor for the second story of the Luther Arkwright, The Heart of
Oh,
Empire.
interesting.
Let's see. She may have. Did she do anything? Work for? She has a credit on Vamp. So she is
MPD.
yeah, she is a voice actor for Vamp PD, and then you have the ACAS pilot. Let's see, is she
Oh, Ocus.
Ocus?
Mm-hmm.
And she is the producer of Ocus.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
All right. So that's interesting. So we got a lot of producers, to me, first-time producers, because I don't know what Jake McGann has done with Big Finish. I feel as though
he is well, I mean, he's Alex, isn't he? In
oh yeah, he's Alex, but I'm talking about behind the scenes.
Well, I think he's obviously wanting to go into producer. I mean, producer work because he was, Johnny got some time with him quite a bit at Big Finish.
Oh yeah.
So he was in the green room for quite a lot of it apparently. He seems to be doing more producing stuff, which is kind of cool. The fact that they're giving him that chance to produce. And I think, well, if you can do a good job, then why not? Like, it's handing over the baton to the next generation, really. So why not?
And then you have for the 8th Doctor, you have David Richardson as the producer. So
he's stepped back quite a bit, isn't he?
Yeah, he has.
Like a lot.
Yeah, I am surprised. And it's interesting to compare and contrast between both David Richardson and Sonny McGann. I mean, like you said, is somebody going to be taking over? Are these newer, younger people going to be taking over for these established veterans? Now I'm going to just see who is the 1st and 2nd Doctor producer. We have, Mark Wright. Interesting. All right. Yeah. So here's the sad thing for me for the 6th Doctor is I absolutely refuse to pay a single cent for a Hebe box set. And I criticized it, and the people at Doctor Who TV and also another somebody else that I was listening to a Doctor Who podcast on has said that it was ashamed. I'm not even sure if Theory said it. I can't remember. But somebody said it's a shame that some people struggled to like the actress, but she has had a very controversial appearance with Big Finish.
I mean, it wasn't the actress's fault. It was it was how the character. It was how Hebe was written.
Yes.
If Hebe was more likable, then I mean, I get it, right? Because, and I think that's the thing. I think like in the sense of, disability rights is definitely something that's on the back burner. People aren't concerned about it. There's finally massive backlash over in this country, at least, the welfare cuts that Labour have put into place.
2,000 years later.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I sure as hell would. I don't know about you.
I don't know. I'm not doing a political podcast.
No.
Doctor Who podcast.
But yeah. So, but no, it should be interesting for some of the box sets.
Interesting. I didn't notice this. I never noticed that there was a deadline, but I feel as though it's new.
It's
No. I haven't gotten what I'm saying. The pre-order price, all of the pre-order box set multi-bundle things for 2025
Yeah, it's new.
No, is going for 2025, this year.
Mhm.
All of the stuff that was
Yes.
announced in 2024, it will come to an end July 1st.
Yeah, that's definitely, yeah, it's new.
Yeah, I'd
Yeah.
never seen that before until I was reading the whole, because I feel as though it's always been for a whole calendar year, and now
Mm-hmm.
it's I saw that, and so now I'm just like double checking every single thing that I have pre-ordered to make sure that, because
Yeah.
I'm not you. I don't, not every single thing is created equal in my
Well, no,
eyes.
it's not. But then, I mean, blame my OCD and blame the whole. Well, I'm a completionist. I'd rather have it than go. Oh, I've got a gap here, and I'm like, if I start to have gaps, I might lose track, and I might get, get into not realizing what I've not picked up. Do you know what I mean? And I do it. It's done. I haven't got to worry about it. Next year's completely sorted. That's me covered for the entire year. I haven't got to worry. And it's just stuff going forward that I go, okay, well that's cool. I'm glad that I've got this on pre-order. So yeah.
All right. Yeah.
And it's, something to look forward to when, say, money is a bit tight and, I might not be able to purchase X, Y, and Z.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Yeah. So now I'm needing to kind of go through what I already have, and man, this is gonna suck.
See what I mean? Now do you see why I buy everything?
Yes. Yes, sir. Yes, I do.
just saying. Makes it a lot easier.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I guess with that, unless there's any other news that I'm missing.
I don't
know we
believe
didn't
so.
Yeah. I think we're all good.
You have been listening to the Doctor Who Alhambra Podcast. Doctor Who is owned and trademarked by the BBC. Doctor Who Alhambra is not affiliated with the BBC or Big Finish. No infringement is intended. Visit our website at alhambrapodcast.weebly.com or email the show at alhambraaudio@gmail.com. Tweet us at Alhambra Podcast. That is ALHAMBRA Podcast. Thank you.